Just an out-of-town goofball.
Yeah, swinging through Walnut Creek.
And missing out on making out with his girlfriend with the smell of corn dogs in his nose.
I'm going to the second floor.
Yeah. And now as an adult, you're like, what?
Oh, God. Do we have to go up there?
The steps. And so we spent like 15 minutes looking at this thing and laughing.
How many quarters did you use?
It didn't matter. The erotic tension was so great. Welcome to Hella Foggy, a podcast about the Bay Area.
He's Greg, and I'm Wayne.
We're two Bay Area natives from both sides of the bay.
Our podcast gets a little ranty.
A little sentimental.
Sometimes informative.
Mostly pointless.
Basically, it's just us trying to make sense of this weird place we love and call home.
So prepare yourself for the Giant Dipper's 70-foot drop.
And enjoy Hella Foggy.
Hi, Wayne.
What's going on, Greg?
I got my mic set up like I have headphones now.
Oh, wow.
I'm tripping out on my own voice.
You're a professional now.
Yeah, I sound like I work in FM radio.
Or AM.
Yes, or AM.
We have our traffic and weather checks on the 8s later.
So today's topic, if you want to call in and chat with us, it's about rubbing honey into your feet or something. I don't know. I couldn't come up with the topic, but my voice is so smooth that I just started thinking about rubbing honey into my feet.
Oh, that does sound kind of tempting later.
Yeah, don't walk by ants, though.
I feel like if you added some salt or rock salt or whatever with that honey, and then you could do a little scrub, exfoliate some of that dead skin. Yeah,
and then do a monologue so your voice sounds like this because you're so relaxed.
In this zen-like state.
The FM voice foot rub.
All right.
So what are we talking about? We have some news in the shout-out section for a beloved thing that we talked about.
Yeah, Oakland's been in the news a lot recently with the whole Alyssa Liu. She got the keys to the city. And then they recently just gave a little shout out to somebody that turned 100 this week.
What? Who turns 100 anymore?
Oh, not a person, I guess.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Yeah. But we actually talked about this particular place in our last podcast, which was very timely, I guess, because
yes,
the Grand Lake Theater turned 100.
What?
Yes.
That's old.
That is old. So that's what, 19?
That's an old theater.
1926. So I
wonder what the first movie they played was.
Did it have sound? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a good question, actually.
Are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up.
I hope it was something good. I hope it wasn't Star Wars.
Oh, well.
1926 style Star Wars.
It didn't play anything until 1977, but it just stood there waiting. That would be amazing.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be amazing.
It was a vaudeville and silent movie house when it first opened in 1926.
Oh, I wonder if they did dirty jokes.
No. Yeah. I bet they did. They just couldn't say anything out loud. No, vaudeville was live, right?
Yeah, it's like singing and dancing and jokes and dancing dogs and stuff like that. Good times. A value for your money.
George Burns was in vaudeville, right?
No, I think the Marx Brothers were in vaudeville and W.C. Fields, all those jokers.
Yeah, we are definitely losing our audience right now.
They're dying because we're boring. But Wayne.
Okay.
100 years, that's awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations, Grand Lake Theater, for being a century. I know something older.
Wait. Older than the Grand Lake Theater. Even
older than the Grand Lake Theater.
Okay.
Which is hard to believe.
A person?
No. I don't know.
No. Okay.
No, the Giant Dipper in Santa Cruz at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
At the boardwalk.
One of the largest wooden coasters, old school wooden coasters left on planet Earth. 104 years old.
What the heck? Yeah, that is old. Holy cow. I wonder if that wood has been replaced by now.
I'm sure it's like that thing where, oh, is it really the Giant Dipper if the wood has been replaced over the years? Can we say it's the same thing? The same roller coaster? I don't know.
You got all that moisture from...
All I know is there's a sign in front of it, and it's called the Giant Dipper.
It's got to be,
And it's scary.
It's scary as hell, though?
Yeah, because it's wood.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a steel frame. So a lot of things that seem like they'd be wood, like the grizzly, still a steel frame. And a wood frame is scarier because you can feel that crap. And it's shaky and old and scary, and it makes weird sounds. And then with the Giant Dipper, what you got is you got a 70-foot drop. You're going 55 miles an hour on that thing, on wood. On wood, Wayne. Not on a road. On wood.
And you know what else would be freaky about that place is that you're literally on the water, basically, right? You're next to the water.
Beautiful views of the ocean.
Yeah.
While you're plummeting at 55 miles an hour down a 70-foot. But look to the left. Guess what?
I don't know.
The Pacific Ocean. Next stop, Japan.
I could see Russia from this roller coaster.
Are you a roller coaster person?
I used to be. Yeah, I loved going on the roller coaster. Used to go to Great America a lot. In fact, I just saw some sort of announcement recently that the Great America season is opening in a couple weeks. So it just kind of gave me a little, flashback to, having to go get my season pass to Great America. And like we would go there a couple times a year just to make it worth it. So yeah, it was fun. Great America was awesome. I don't know if it was the same on your side of the bay, but I love going to Great America.
What do you mean on my side of the bay?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you went to somewhere else.
I think there's just great Americas everywhere.
America's great. That's why.
It's gone through many identities. Great America.
Great America's gone through, like way too many identities. It has a identity crisis, if anything. Yeah. But it began in 1976, pretty early on, right?
Yeah.
As Marriott's Great America. I don't know if you're aware of the pronunciation of Marriott. I had no idea.
What's correct?
Marriott.
The Marriott. Well, I mean, I guess when you go to a hotel, you say, I'm staying at the Marriott.
I don't know.
You don't say the Marriott.
I don't know. I was saying Marriott for the longest time. But I was looking at some old commercials, and they don't even know. They go back and forth.
No, in the commercials, discover Marriott's
right?
Great America.
Yeah, the song, right? It's ought. So regardless.
Then I'll say that Marriott's lost their crown because they weren't managing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it stopped being Marriott's.
Yeah. But I remember, I still have, great memories of the big fountain in front. Yeah. And then you see the big 2-story merry-go-round. That was awesome just to see that.
The century or something? There's a name for the merry-go-round.
Is there?
And then as a kid, you think, oh, man, it's a double-decker merry-go-round.
I'm going to the second floor.
Yeah. And now as an adult, you're like, what?
Oh, God, do we have to go up there?
The steps.
But it was gorgeous, right? It's pretty iconic for Great America. And then, back then, I think they had a contract with Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
All the Bugs Bunnies and the Daffy Ducks walking around. And
Porky Pig, Foghorn Leghorn, or what is that his name?
The Ase guy, yeah.
The big chicken. Yeah. Yo, Chicken Hawk.
Okay, Wayne.
But I remember seeing all that. I used to think that was like normal because, of course, Disneyland has their characters.
Yep.
Great America has Looney Tunes, and that was the connection that I always put together.
Yeah, and then Santa Cruz had Popeye because it was.
Did they really?
Yeah, briefly they had Popeye in the Popeye universe because it was in public domain.
Oh.
Like the original Popeye, like from the comic strip, was in public domain. So I guess we're Popeye now.
Oh, that's funny.
But Marriott's, it's funny because as a kid, it was like such a magical place.
Yeah.
And then you go back, I haven't been, in 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they're not on the ball 100%.
It's still very similar to what we grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember taking the kids when they were young and, taking them to the Snoopy Land area.
Yeah.
But for the rest of it, I mean, the Grizzly's still there, right? The Grizzly's one of the original rides. The Demon is still there, right?
Yeah.
I forget what some of the other ones, probably the log ride and the Clipper thingy.
The American Clipper.
Yeah.
And it's one of those amusement parks that just goes all in on roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, screw it, we're doing roller coasters. Because it doesn't have like and I don't mind this, but it doesn't have that kind of like built-in narrative structure like a Disneyland.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, there's a faster roller coaster. This one goes in loops. Oh,
right.
What was the one that famously, as a kid, it's like, well, they have the one that has the corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
That was the Demon. Demon had the corkscrew.
It wasn't called the Demon originally.
I don't know then. From what I remember, it was always the Demon with the glowing eyes in front of it.
Yeah, I think it was called...
It was just scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, I think the Demon... It was originally something else, and I want to say it was the
Sasquatch. No, I don't know.
Sanctuary. But I think in one of the many shifts to new owners, they just started up what was already there, and then it became the Demon.
I'm doing a little search. Turn of the Century.
The Turn of the Century, that's what it was.
You're right. And so when it first opened, the roller coaster was called Turn of the Century and then later renamed the Demon.
And that was like, I remember as a kid, the Turn of the Century was like, ugh. Like, it was like, have you ridden that?
Yeah.
It was like losing your virginity or something. It was just so insane.
I will say, whoever came up with changing the name should be given an award. Turn of the Century is a dumb name for a roller coaster.
Well, don't forget. I actually don't have a defense. You're right.
Yeah.
Because the Turn of the Century is like, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And
tip of the top hat to you, sir.
Yes. How do you like the gold standard? Like, it's not really a time of... I mean, there were probably horrible things going on in the Turn of the Century, but it doesn't grab you.
No.
Like, we weren't even in World War I yet at the Turn of the Century. I think there was a sort of a mini depression happening around that time, like the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
They should have called it that.
Depression. Did you ride the Depression today?
Yeah.
I stood in line for an hour for the Depression.
And it wasn't working.
Oh, God. Remember I think it was in the mid 80s, and probably one of the most memorable television commercials for Great America when they introduced the Edge. Do you remember that?
Was the Edge just a droppy one?
Yeah. And then they had these four punks, right, that would... they got onto the edge because it's just a four-seater, right? You sit four across, you face outward, you sit on this little contraption that lifts you up all the way to the top of it, and then it pushes you out like 3 feet.
That sound.
And then drops you, right?
That like chunk.
Yeah.
And then you look down. See?
Yeah. Do you remember the bubble gum, right? And he was like blowing the bubble gum and then he had it all over his face. The other kid with the hair just all like that. And then the perfect part was like, when the kid started screaming after the ride was over. It was good.
I do remember counting.
Yeah. Like
just to see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch that commercial. It sounds horrible. The punks of Santa Clara just sweeping in and taking over the scariest ride.
But when it came out, the lines were so long for that. I mean, it was a 2-second, I think it's 2.5 second ride. And the line was like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
long.
and then as you get older and you're exposed to the wider world and other amusement parks in other areas, you realize everything exists everywhere else. There's no this is just the Bay Area's version of whatever the product name is from the roller coaster company.
Right. Like when they introduced that, I think there was another one that came out at that time. The Revolution, which was that big ship that would just be like a pendulum and then it would go all the way around, like an entire revolution, right? So yeah, that was fun. I just remember listening to all the coins fall from the Revolution as well as the Edge. Because by the time you hit the bottom of the Edge, literally on your back, so all your change would essentially fall out of your pockets.
Those dirty thieves at Great America. And then, so there was Marriott's, and then what is it now?
It went through like a couple iterations, right? There was no corporate entity for a while, and then
It went solo. It was a road.
Yeah, they just were Great America for a couple years, and then Paramount became their primary owner, and then after that, I think Six Flags had taken it over. I think in the early 2000s or something.
Could I tell it? I have a story about stolen kisses at Great America.
Oh, please do.
I'm not going to name names, but when I was like 14 or something, there was a girl I had made out with, and independent of Great America.
Yeah.
And then later, over the summer, her boyfriend, who was from out of town, she goes, well, we're going to Great America. Do you want to come with us? And 2 other people or something. All right. So we go to Great America, and while her boyfriend was on a ride, we made out.
Oh, sneaky you.
Yes. And I've been chasing that feeling ever since, Wayne.
Oh, wow.
Those forbidden kisses.
Did you end up dating her, or she
No.
went back to the college guy or whatever?
She was like 14.
Oh.
I don't think she was dating the college. He was, I think he was our age.
Oh, he was just from out of town.
Just an out of town goofball.
Yeah, swinging through Walnut Creek.
And missing out on making out with his girlfriend with the smell of corn dogs in his nose at Great America.
Oh, you know what was really good there, though? The funnel cake was amazing there. I don't know if you ever tried it there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had funnel cake. It just does not appeal to me.
That's too bad. I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in you, but
I'm disappointed in me.
I just kind of just said I am disappointed in you.
My thing is, if it's a food you could have made in home ec class, I'm not going to spend $20.
Oh no, I would registered for home ec like all the time if it was funnel cake 101, you know?
Mm.
But speaking of school though, Great America was this like, I forget which grade it was, maybe been 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this is like 8th grade all over the bay, but it was a bit of a boondoggle, right? Field trip where you technically had to fill out this ditto sheet of questions when you went to Great America and talked about like gravity and all this stuff.
I didn't.
Nobody did it. It was literally like this achievement. You got to this grade, you're going to go on this field trip. We're going to justify it by saying that you have to do these science questions.
I think you were closer. In terms of, like, for us to take a field trip to Great America, I want to say that happened in some capacity at some point. But yeah, I feel like I took a bus to Great America.
Oh.
No, we took buses to Marine World.
Okay.
USA.
Yeah, that's another one that we should talk about is Marine World. Like Marine World originally was on this side of the bay in Redwood City.
Right.
Technically what is the Redwood Shores area of Redwood City.
Right. Is that where the Dumbarton lets out?
It's sort of in between the Dumbarton and San Mateo Bridge. It's where Oracle currently is now.
This is the dullest podcast in the world.
But Marine World opened in 1968.
Yeah.
But then there was a separate thing called Africa USA, which was from Southern California, maybe Palmdale or something.
Yeah.
So they merged and became Marine World Africa USA in 1972.
Which is a mouthful.
Yeah. But we used to say it all the time, and there were jingles and commercials all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I think most people just call it Marine World. I remember going down and seeing Spider-Man was there. And of course, like the sea life, right? You had the stuff before it was sort of taboo to have, dolphins and orcas and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And skiers, right? Water skiers. They had the water skiing show.
Yeah.
Without Fonzie. Yeah.
But it feels like they really, when they had moved to Vallejo,
I think that was the mid 80s, maybe like 86, I want to say.
Yeah, and I remember they put all the animals on like barges or something.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the news.
Oh, okay.
Because it was exciting because animals and barges, 2 things that people love.
Yeah.
And it feels like it became more like a regular park once they moved to... Because I remember as a kid, it was boring.
It definitely wasn't Great America, right? It was sort of the
Yeah.
the lesser of the two.
It was very much show oriented, like your water skiers and
The killer whale show.
the dolphins that they beat off the dolphins that they abuse and punish off stage. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If we were being monetized, we'd be demonetized just for that line. But fortunately, we're not being paid for this. Getting back, and you could ride elephants and you could ride camels. And then there was the water skiing, the yada yada, and I think there was like petting zoo crap, and it was very show oriented, and there weren't rides per se. There was like a jungle ride, which I think was just a low effort thing, where it was like they had a big houseboat and they put like straw on it when you were on a safari.
Yeah.
And then when they moved to Vallejo, that's when you started getting your roller coaster,
like the rides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only been to the one in Vallejo maybe twice, and as an adult.
Isn't it shutting down, or it's shut down, or
I don't know anymore. I know Great America is supposed to shut down soon. It's still open, so get it while it's hot, or it's still there.
Right.
But something really interesting about Marine World.
What?
Hold your breath. There's a Star Wars connection.
No, there's not.
There is.
There's not. I'm going to insist that there's not.
There is a Star Wars connection.
What?
So there's an actual character that is from Marine World in Star Wars. And it's going to blow your mind, okay?
Yes.
There was an elephant at Marine World.
There wasn't there?
There was. But there was an elephant named Margie that actually played the bantha in Star Wars. So the banthas are the big elephant type animals that the sand people would ride.
Yeah.
And so at Marine World, they would actually have the outfit on the side.
What's her name? Margie?
Margie.
What a horrible life she must have led. Poor Margie. Being dragged all over.
Well, she gets royalties. So she's at all the nerd cons, signing autographs.
Mace Windu is climbing all over her.
Oh, there you go. Closeted Star Wars fan dropping names.
Just because I know I know a lot about Hitler, it doesn't mean I love him. It's the same thing.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, so there's the connection. So that's our Star Wars talk for today.
God.
Thank you, Greg, for suffering through that.
It's all right. I'm teaching myself to go to a different place when you start talking about Star Wars.
A meditative escape.
Yeah. What's that guy Brooks? The one that was like in the original script, and he was Luke's friend.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
What?
Let's move on.
No. You know who it is. What's his name?
I'm not gonna. This is bait. You're baiting me to just nerd out.
No, I'm not. I want to.
Right. You were close. It was Biggs. All right. All right. I'm not on the scale of nerddom. I wouldn't say I'm a 10.
I'll say that you have a very narrow lane, and I appreciate that.
All right.
You're not just the generalist who's like all over the map.
No. Let's talk about some more amusement parks.
All right.
Okay, back to the Bay Area.
So we've already talked about Playland by the Sea, and Playland by the Sea was our Coney Island essentially.
Yeah, I was too young to experience it, but
I was too young. How old do you think I am?
I don't know, a lot.
It was gone by the time I was a child.
Yeah. So Playland started in the late 1800s and then was pretty much a mainstay in San Francisco up until 1972 when it finally shut down.
I think there was a fire, wasn't there?
Probably. It also just like run its course
right
out there by the beach. But if anybody's, sort of familiar with the Great Highway and where Golden Gate Park is and the windmills, it's essentially between the windmills and where the Cliff House was. Mm-hmm. That area in between was Playland by the beach.
Yeah. And so it had a giant wooden roller coaster.
Another roller coaster. Yep.
And it had, of course, Laughing Sal. And Laughing Sal was this mechanical clown lady And my brother, who's 10 years older than me, was terrified of her as a child because Playland still existed. And what she would do is she was like a human-sized puppet, and she would laugh in a eerie way.
Yeah.
And I think she greeted you as you walked in.
But by the funhouse or something, right?
Yeah. And then, so she's since been moved to Santa Cruz, where she's not, I don't know that she's running necessarily, but you could go look at her if you're a weirdo.
Apparently there's several.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or Laughing Sal's, right?
Yeah.
There's actually one in San Francisco still at the Musée Mécanique.
Oh, right. That thing, that's cool. Actually, if you're ever in that part of the world, go see that museum.
We should go. That's another place that you and I should go check out.
Yes, but in our private time, Wayne.
Oh, God, you took too long to answer that one. Forget it. I'll take that as a no, Greg.
No, we should. All right. Yeah, we'll go. We have to get better microphones.
There's a version there. I think there's versions in a lot of places, but the one that is from Playland, I believe you're right, is down in Santa Cruz.
So in high school, I was with a couple friends, and we ended up visiting the Musée Electronique or whatever it's called. And they have these old, like, these, I guess it was the equivalent of porn at the turn of the century. And it was this big sign. This is basically a museum that shows vintage Nickelodeon gaming arcade technologies, like those kind of old target practice rifle ranges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they had this sign, nudist colony. And it had, you put it a quarter in, and there's like viewing goggles.
Yeah.
And you look in, and the light goes on, and it's this diorama of these little plastic nudists on a beach.
So you're basically looking at a little naked Barbie doll through some goggles.
But they're tiny. They're like the size of like HO scale, like you'd have for a train, like a model train.
Yeah.
And so we spent like 15 minutes looking at this thing and laughing.
How many quarters did you use?
It didn't matter. The erotic tension was so great.
Yeah, bring out the dolphins for that. Jeez.
But if you are in that part of the world over by Ocean Beach, is that Ocean Beach?
Where the museum is?
Yeah.
I think the museum's near Fisherman's Wharf.
Oh, well, go see the museum because it's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, so the other day I talked to an old friend of mine who used to be my neighbor, and she's a little older. She's probably what our parents' age would have been, but she's a native San Franciscan. Yeah. I asked her if she remembered going to Playland, and she was like, "Oh, my memory's not too good anymore." It's funny you mentioned the Laughing Sal because I think everybody remembers that. That was the one thing that she called out was Laughing Sal. It is disturbed and terrified kids for hundreds of years, I guess, or 100 years.
I don't think it's existed for centuries.
But yeah.
It didn't come over with the Spanish explorers.
No.
Laughing Sal.
But even my mom, when my mom came here in 1966, and I guess it was still open for a couple more years, she had gone, and that was the first thing that came out of her memory was the laughing lady, she called it. So, the interesting thing about Playland was that it was eventually owned and run. Well,
it was owned by Charles Manson.
What?
You didn't know that?
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. No, it was not owned by Charles Manson. There were two brothers that started a photo processing booth at Playland in the early 20s. Their names were George and Leo Whitney. Eventually, George Whitney became the general manager and essentially ran Playland. He owned so many of the booths and attractions, including rides and the photo booth, shooting galleries, a bunch of stuff like that, right? Yeah. And then eventually he got into concessions as well. And you know what he developed?
What?
The It's It.
What?
So the It's It is originally from Playland.
What?
The original It's It stand was there, and eventually they moved to Burlingame. But if you look at the It's It wrapper, right, it has like a little.
Oh, that's right. It
has the Playland cross section on it. So yeah, and then actually, I pulled up a photo of it the other day. In the description of what an It's It is, it actually references Playland.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? That's a really like deep cut of Bay Area history, I think.
No, I had no idea that Charles Manson was responsible for the It's It.
Bastard.
Yeah. I want to start that rumor.
But yeah, there's a bunch of other things besides Laughing Sal that are still existing. I think the Carousel Oregon that used.
Oh, yep.
That's down in Santa Cruz at the boardwalk. Also, the merry-go-round that existed there is now at Yerba Buena near Moscone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
It's still around. Little bits of it are still around.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
You mentioned if you're young and you grew up in the area, you probably have gone to Fairyland.
Yeah, but I do feel like if you're over the age of, say, 7, you're kind of bummed out. If you go.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing.
Yeah, it's cool, though. It's cool in a kind of spooky way because it was made to standards of a different time. So to even call it an amusement park, I think is aggressive. It's like a themed playground more than anything else.
Yeah, that's a better description for it. It's definitely like a playground that you have to pay to go see.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's a lot of rusty things, a lot of plaster on chicken wire kind of things falling apart a little bit, a lot of closed grottos. So it was basically you would walk around and check out these little like panoramas of nursery rhymes. And then they had what they have at the San Francisco Zoo is these little boxes, these little metal boxes, and you could buy a key, a plastic key.
Oh my God, I'm having that moment.
Yeah, see? Wait.
The memory moment. Yeah, the little, was there an elephant on the key or something?
Yeah, so the elephant's snout was the key proper, and then the elephant's big butt was the...
I had a blue one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so you could go up to these little metal boxes and then activate them with the key in a very, very... Sort of like how I sounded last episode. Like, it sounded like wasps in a tin can.
Yep.
And it was telling you the nursery rhyme, but you couldn't understand it because it's a metal box that had been in the rain for...
Mary had a lamb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was a metal box that had been in the rain for 70 years. So maybe it wasn't very high fidelity.
Yeah.
So you go and then you look at the diorama, and the diorama is like falling apart. There's a puddle on the ground.
It's been there since 1975.
Yeah, there's like mosquitoes coming from it. And then there was stuff that like made me feel like as a kid, it's like this was probably very cool like in the 1950s because there was all this stuff that was locked down. Like there's kid-sized buildings you could go in. Like there's a little chapel, but it was kid size. So I liked that. It was fun that it was kid size. There was a cool slide that was like a Chinese dragon you could go down.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So the only experience I've ever had there was being a parent where I had to chaperone a bunch of preschoolers, and I had no idea what this place was. I had no idea what, chaperoning 5 4-year-olds was going to be like.
Yeah.
It was like watching Mean Girls on Disney Kids or something. It was terrible. It was such a bad experience.
Why were the kids jerks?
Yeah, they were like, territorial and like, I'm going to talk to this girl because...
Give us some names, Wayne.
I have no idea. I mean, this was preschool.
Give us some names.
I don't know. They're monsters, though. That's all I know.
Yeah. Jerky little kids. And then there was... I want to talk about 2 parks that I never experienced. I just remember commercials for.
Okay.
There was Frontier Village in San Jose, and it was like a cowboy village. And it was already like I think it closed like 75 or something.
Okay.
And it was like of that time when adults thought that kids liked cowboys a lot. And so there was cowboy stuff everywhere. I've never been somebody who was into cowboys.
So it closed in 1980. So fairly early.
Early or late? I think that's late for cowboy stuff.
You're right. The cowboy renaissance was well over by then.
Yeah, that was like post Star Wars. There we go. There we go, Wayne. You tricked me into saying Star Wars.
I didn't say it.
So even as a kid, so it'd be on TV and it's like, they'd had fake shootouts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it was just like a town that you'd walk through and it'd be like, oh, Tammy. And then there was probably a train, because these things always have little trains that you could go look at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked really boring.
Well,
I'll be honest. And then the other thing was Santa's Village.
Where was that?
It was up in Santa Cruz Mountains, Scotts Valley.
Okay.
Originally, we had talked about this before, and I got it in my head, and this is this could be a take back. I got it in my head that they were shut down because they were laundering cocaine money. And then I looked it up and I couldn't find any reference to that anywhere. Like I fully made it up in my head.
A different type of snow. Yeah.
Yes. Well done, Wayne.
Mm.
So what it was is it was just this janky ass Christmas themed. To call it an amusement park, I think, is aggressive. I think it was up in the Santa Cruz Mountains in the middle of the woods, and it had an alpine theme, and then you were greeted by Santa and his horrible wife, Mrs. Claus. I don't know why I said that, but
you're on the naughty list now. Yeah,
because I hate the idea of this place. I bet she was awful, and it was owned by some Danes, people from Denmark. Wayne,
yeah.
Yes.
Wait, you mean like Solvang wasn't enough for them?
Exactly.
They needed to expand.
Danish Lebensraum. They were taken over. And I guess it was never really that popular. And then they had Santa's elves that would, I don't know, run the rides, the crappy kind of like basic rides of probably a small choo-choo train. And then like when you go to a zoo and they try to cobble together rides.
Yeah.
Like Oakland Zoo has that kind of gross fake amusement park section. But yeah, so it's like that. But then they have a Christmas tree.
It's hard to have the Christmas feeling last through the entire year, right? I don't know if you want to go there in, 95-degree heat.
No.
And feel the Christmas spirit.
No, and those elves were miserable bastards, like in the middle of summer.
Oh, brutal.
It's hot up there.
Yeah, it's super hot out there. So it says here it opened in 1957 and lasted till 1979.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, they were cleaning house back in the late 70s, early 80s. They're like, if you're not going to make sense, we're going to shut you down.
So eventually, Santa's Village was bought by the Borland Corporation.
Oh.
Who were responsible for C++, the coding language.
Yeah.
And they tore it down and put their headquarters there.
Oh, interesting. That is. And
Borland eventually got absorbed into somebody else and doesn't exist anymore.
Speaking of things that nobody wanted to go to, though. The Wooz. Do you remember the Wooz at all?
I remember it was like a fake amusement park.
It was short-lived. It was this maze.
Oh, that's right.
Life-size maze, right? In Vacaville, right off of 80 in Vacaville.
So by the outlet malls and stuff.
Yeah, in that area.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was like, it was popular in Japan. So they were going to try to make it work in the United States. So they built this huge life-size maze that people would pay money to go into. And apparently people were just like, oh, there's an emergency exit here. I'm just going to get out of here, like from here. So the interest in it was short-lived. It may have just been around for a couple of years and then they shut it down. I bet it's where all the outlets are now, actually.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
That is kind of a is it a dumb idea? Like, I like mazes. I like mazes. Fine.
Yeah.
It feels like that era has a lot of ideas that's like, that's a good idea. People show up.
Right,
like there's not good follow through a lot of the time.
You know what would be really good though?
What?
If the maze if they had like little areas, right? Oh, there's a bar somewhere that you have to get to.
Oh, that's interesting. Like you had multiple destinations within the maze that
Within the maze, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm done with the slides here. I'm going to move on, and try to make it to the whatever, right? I think that would be fun, and especially if there's a bar. A bar would be amazing there.
yeah, in Star Wars would be involved. The Mace Windu cantina.
It's bait. You're not baiting me. You're not.
Mace Windu.
You're not.
So Santa Cruz, we kind of just talked about the Giant Dipper, and the Giant Dipper is awesome.
Yeah.
And if you're a roller coaster person, go check out the Giant Dipper. And apparently it's between Vancouver and San Diego. It's the only old school wooden coaster still on the West Coast. That's where let's go to the boardwalk, Wayne.
Yeah, let's do it then.
This summer, we'll go to the boardwalk. It's just a fun place.
Yeah.
No, and there's a good bowling alley there. It's just, I really recommend the boardwalk for if you want to see sort of pre.com California. The boardwalk is a good destination.
You know what movie I remember always associating Santa Cruz with?
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just watching Sinners the other day, and I don't know if you've seen Sinners yet, but they do the same thing where you have to invite the vampire into the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that real, or is that something that you stole from Lost Boys? So it's funny how we were always saying like Santa Cruz is not the Bay Area, but people from the Bay Area go to Santa Cruz a lot. Like it's associated.
I love Santa Cruz.
It's a nice escape.
So on our secret Google Doc that we share, we have one more thing, and I'm intrigued by it because I don't know what the hell this is. What is Gilroy Gardens?
So Gilroy Garden, like I've never been there. I've never taken my kids there. All I know is like it was an attempt to create a theme park in Gilroy. I don't know, and sort of like playing up their garlicness, I guess.
Gilroy's like some kind of garlic capital of not the world. I don't know, the West Coast, America.
I think it's. I don't know. I would say it's the garlic capital of the world. I would rather go to the garlic festival than go to Gilroy Gardens. So
I would go to Gilroy Gardens just because what the hell is Gilroy? Like, what are they going to do? How do you make garlic exciting for children?
I don't know if it's necessarily themed around garlic, but I know that there's a ride that literally is a big bulb of garlic that you ride in.
Maybe it's one of those things like the garlic marketing board.
But I think there's also other agricultural like crops and stuff that they play up because there's such that agricultural part of that region, right?
Yeah.
It's not just garlic. There's like artichokes and other things.
The asparagus flume ride.
So that's that. I wouldn't put too much memory building into Gilroy Gardens, but I just know that it's a more recent one.
Well, I would ask if our readers, our listeners, if you are listening, let us know.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying us, drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Share your memories of going to Great America, getting your season pass at the warehouse.
Oh.
I remember having to get mine at the warehouse.
I worked at the warehouse.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. God, I love the warehouse.
Yeah.
We used to, I remember renting movies there first before the blockbusters came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got memories about going to the old Marine World, Africa USA in Redwood City.
Stolen kisses
by the demon or was it the grizzly? I can't remember you said.
I don't remember.
Or any of the other amusement parks. Hell, if you're old enough to remember Playland, let us know and tell us about it.
Have your nurse call us.
Hit the button that calls your nurse and let us know. Send us an email. We are at hellafoggypodcast@gmail.com, or if you have Instagram, you can go to our page there and send us a message at hellafoggypodcast.
Wow, we're so official.
We are official now. We've got ways to get a hold of us instead of random texts to Greg or myself.
Yeah.
So, and we love those too. Those are great.
We just want to hear from you. However you want to do it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. We are open to all kinds of communications. All right.
Mostly. Yes.
All right, Greg.
Star Wars. All right. Thank you.
I never brought up. Oh, I did bring up once. But
Yeah,
you brought
did.
up the rest.
You did.
I had a good one this time.
You had a good one.
Yeah.
And that's why we love Wayne.
We love you too, Greg. All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Yes, Wayne. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, right.
Which will all already have happened. But happy belated.
I hope everybody enjoyed your Guinnesses.
Yes.
Guinness-I? Guinai?
Guinai.
Guinai.
Good night.
Good night. See you, Greg. Bye.
Bye, Wayne.
Did you have your first kiss there, Greg?
Not everything is about kissing all the time, Wayne. I had one story, one chaste, beautiful story about a stolen kiss.
That was a beautiful story. I don't want to ruin it. I apologize.
You're ruining it with filth about making out at a children's playground. You're an animal, Wayne.